That is why we need smaller units as well as larger units also. These are used basically for measuring, say, interatomic distances, or for example wavelengths also. You will be coming across these units very often now. Okay. Now let's come to the larger units. This you all know, 1 kilometer equal to 10 to the power 3 meter. Now let's talk about some other larger units. For example, what about, do you have any idea about AU? What is it? Astronomical unit. That means, suppose if you want to measure the distances between the planets, heavenly bodies. For that, now you can use a common sense to understand that distance is very much large. For that, it's very inconvenient to use meter. Obviously, we cannot use all these units. Then we will have to use a very huge value to express the number. In fact, kilometer is also not sufficient. So we need some larger units of multiples of units, that means of meter, so that we can express it conveniently. Okay. For example, astronomical unit. Then you have heard about this, light year. Light year, it's not the unit of time, it's the unit of this distance or the length. That means the light year is basically defined as a distance that light travels in vacuum in 1 year. Okay. Next you have, I think this was as an objective in the previous class, parsec. Parsec is the largest unit of length. Now, parsec, light year, astronomical unit, this all can be converted to meter also. Obviously, you can see that all the units, that means the sub-multiples and multiples of units, are interconvertible, because we can always express the larger units to the smaller units and the smaller units to the larger ones. That is the criteria of choosing a unit. When the scientists have chosen the units for us, they have made sure that the units were such chosen that they can be reproducible. We can convert them to our convenient terms. For example, so as you can see, I have written these values for you. You can find this in your book also. Okay. That means we can convert astronomical unit to meter, that means the standard unit for length, light year to meter, parsec to light year. Now that means if I can convert parsec to light year, we can convert to meter also, because we know light year is how much meters, right? So basically all these multiples, sub-multiples, that can be interconvertible. We can convert from one to another. So that means parsec and light year, we use all those, and astronomical unit also for the, that means if we want to measure the distances, that how, or say how much distance the light has traveled, or distance between the planets or heavenly bodies or sun and earth, we use those units. Okay. The next one is, so what will be the standard unit or the standard unit which is used for representing the mass in SI system? kg. Okay. Here also we have smaller units, for example kilogram, gram you have, milligram you have. These are all smaller units. Okay. also you have atomic mass unit. In chemistry you have learned this atomic mass unit. It is represented as AMU. So it also has a value in kg, which is 1.66 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. So where do we use this? When suppose we are in chemistry, we are expressing the mass of any atom, we use this AMU unit. Okay, now let's have a look at the larger units then. Quintal. Quintal, you have come across these terms. Quintal, metric ton. Quintal, 100 kg. 1000 kg. But what about, suppose we want to measure or we want to express the mass of, say, sun. These are all, not sufficient enough. We need even larger unit for measuring the mass of the sun, because the value will be very large. So we need even larger unit for a submultiple of unit for the mass of, say, planets, known as solar mass. It also has a value in kg. One solar mass is 2 into 10 to the power 30 kg. Okay, so this was all about mass. Now next is time. What is the standard unit? It's second. Smaller units, same as length. You can say for yourself also. See, for example, 1, say, millisecond. 10 to the power. Let me first write down 1 millisecond, 1 nanosecond, microsecond, 1 nanosecond. Same as length, we have written millisecond, 10 to the power minus 3. Okay, microsecond, 10 to the power minus 6, nanosecond, 10 to the power minus 9. Okay. Now, okay, so see, these are the smaller units, and what about the larger units? I've written this for you. This you all know, minutes, hours, then day, month, year, leap year. You all know leap year. Decade, that means 10 year. Century, 100 year, millennium, 1000 years. So obviously these are the larger units of time. This was all about the different units of length, mass and time. Now another thing which is left from this portion, you have to know certain derived units. For example, what about, say, volume? What about volume? Volume, you have, say, for example, volume of a cuboid. It's length into length into length, or say it's a cube. For cuboid, it's length into breadth into height. So basically for volume we need length 3 times. That means the dimension is length. So you maybe have the question that why I'm writing length 3 times, because obviously length, whatever dimension it has, let's not speak about dimension, fine. Whatever unit it has, breadth will also have the same, height will also have the same. So basically these all come under length category, right? So what will be the SI unit? So in the exam, in annual exam also you will get this type of questions like find the derived unit of, you will be given some physical quantity, any quantity you may get, so you have to find the derived unit of those physical quantities. Okay, so just don't expect you will get volume because it's very easy. Length into length into length, that means meter into meter into meters. So we can write it as meter cube. Okay. Then again, suppose you have speed, distance by time. Distance by time. Distance, it has the unit of length, SI unit meter, time second, meter per second, right? Then for example, say velocity. Velocity will have a different unit for as of speed or same. Unit will be same. And what's the difference between speed and velocity? It's just that velocity has a direction associated with it. Okay. Then let's consider acceleration. What is acceleration? Rate of change of velocity. Now, velocity, just now we have found meter per second because it's speed or velocity. Remember in class 7 you had this thing that speed and velocity both have the same units, then why are they different, or are they different physical quantities or same? So velocity we have meter per second by time again second. So finally what do we get? This comes in the numerator, acceleration. Now you have all these derived units in the book only. It's, I guess, in the end of the chapter. I'm not sure about the page number because maybe different in your edition. So it's just before you have guidelines for writing the units. Before that you have a long chart. Go through that chart carefully, okay? These formulas you will be acquainted in the upcoming chapters also, okay? For the time being, just concentrate in how we are getting the derived units. Mass, it's kg. Acceleration, just now we have seen it is right. Can you tell me what will be for work? Work you have learned in class 8. Force into displacement. Force, just now you have got meter. Okay. We can also call this as Newton. This also can be written as Newton. Okay. Now next, suppose we have okay. I think I just missed out something. Sorry. This one is Newton and this one is the Joule. Sorry, I just mixed up both. Kg meter per force, that means it will be Newton, and work, it will be work or energy. Both same. Okay, so this is also, it can be written as Joule. This one Newton. Okay. Now for example, some more, like you have learned power power you have learned work by time. So if you know work, joule by time, second, joule per second, you can also write it as watt. Watt again is the name of a scientist. So that is why, how do we write watt? So for power, it is joule per second. Also, it can be written as watt. Either you write like this or okay. So next you have, say for example, pressure. Then pressure you have learned force per unit area. So if it is force per unit area, that means kg meter per second square. Okay. Or you can also use Newton per meter square, or simply kg meter per second square by meter square. Okay, you can, anyways, both ways you can write. So fine. And what is the what do we call pressure? The unit of pressure, it's Pascal. That means this one. This is for pressure. Okay. So just go through this different derived units of the physical quantities once, because there are some more also given. So once you are acquainted with all the physical quantities, it will be easier for you to remember. One thing I just forgot to mention, that suppose you want to say 10 meters. Okay. For plural form, when you're writing it symbol, don't write, if you write, this is wrong, because this stands for millisecond. So you have to write 10 meter only. Okay, for plural form also the symbol remains the same. So I think I have covered the whole of chapter 1A. Let me just see whether anything is left or not. Okay, so we have covered the whole of 1A. So just go through the portions which I've just covered, okay? It's a very small part which we have covered, but it's a very important part also, okay? Because you tend to make a lot of mistakes in the units and writing the units, or in various derived units also, and some conceptual facts also. So that's all for today. So just go through the portion which we have completed, and we'll continue in the next session, okay?